Hello, everyone.
Recording is in progress.
Hello, everyone. Sorry, yes.
Hello, Carlos. We can hear you loud and clear. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another week, another Monday for UnityNet Africa and Diaspora weekly meetings. This is a forum where we discuss our continental issues in relation to plans and progress or progresses and actions. Today we have a short agenda. I wanted the Continental Secretary General to say the agenda, but I'm going to say it. I guess we all, or most of us, have the agenda. The agenda goes like this: a welcome note from the Continental President, introduction of a new participants, if there are any. We have new people. And then, can somebody be admitting people coming, please? Who is the co-host?
Yes, I've been admitting them.
Okay,
I have
so
admitted
please.
them.
Okay. And so we have, after the introduction aspect of it for the new people, we have remarks by the Continental Secretary General. And after that one, the fourth point is we have the training of, we have only one TOT that is coming from Susan Yego, who is a member of UnityNet active member, and she's in fruit and for the tree planting project proposed June 2020, final, or maybe the two last one. We have recommendations, suggestions, proposals, and any other relevant business, and then we close. That's our start with my opening remarks that you're all welcome to our usually UnityNet Africa and Diaspora Continental weekly meetings. So we are here to exchange ideas, to input ideas that will help to rebrand Africa. So we are here as a team. Let us ensure that we play our own part, your own little part, play it to ensure that Africa is rebranded and moved. And so on that note, you're all welcome. So we'll have the introductory part for the new people. Do you have any new person today? Do you have any new person on board? We have so far 16 or 17 people. What I'm saying, most of us are the same people as usual.
There's a Margaret. I think she's new. She's from South Africa.
Oh, Margaret. Yeah. Can you unmute and introduce yourself, please?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Margaret Machaba.
Good evening, Margaret.
Can you hear me?
ahead.
Yes,
All right. My name is Margaret Machaba. I am the chairperson of the National Small Business and Cooperative Association from South Africa. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Margaret. You are warmly welcome, and we expect you to join UnityNet African Diaspora, the South African chapter. So please contact or connect with Juliet, Hendrik, and others for you to be within the team. Thank you, you're welcome. Any other member who's a new person? All right, if we don't have another, any new person, we go straight to, we're going to jump point 3 and direct. Is somebody there?
Yes. Hello.
Yes.
Oh, this is Susan Yego.
Yes, Susan Diego, I guess you're an old person. So you still want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Well, yeah, my name. Okay, I don't have to introduce because I introduced in the chat box.
That's fine. So your session is coming soon, so you can, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right, on that note, so we want Madam Susan Diego to prepare to present a presentation today. Over to you, Madam Diego. So today we're not going to waste time. We're going to point and have time for discussions and also encourage people who want to contribute, who want to do presentation today, please. If you want to do presentation for next week, Monday, you can also submit your name and your chapter, just send it to the chat. Please, thank you. I want to say something. All right. Yes, Bruce, yeah, your hand is up.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good evening. Whose audios are on, kindly contact them so that we can concentrate. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And that is a great notification. Please let us ensure that we are all muted so that we only give the opportunity to Madam Susan to do a presentation. Madam Susan, over to you. Go ahead with your presentation.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and thank you. Thank you, Mr. President, for UnityNet.
Sorry.
Yeah, thank you,
Sorry.
Mr. President,
Yeah,
Dr.
sorry.
Carlos, for
Hello.
hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Hello.
Can you project your presentation so that we can follow up from what you're presenting?
Okay, you want me to share my screen?
Yes. Can you share your screen?
Okay.
You can also share your presentation with me. I can help you if you cannot.
Okay.
Merci.
You are your screen sharing. I'm sharing my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, we see your icons from your laptop, from your computer.
You can see my, oh, you can see the icon, not the screen. Jump to the meeting.
Susan, we can see your desktop.
Right, okay, I'm going there right now. Just a minute, just give me 1 minute, I'm there. Just 1 minute, I'm there. Uh-huh. Yep, it's coming. It's processing. Ah, okay. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so today I'm making a presentation on fruit, and today I'm making a presentation on fruit and forestry. I'm making a presentation on fruit and forestry establishment. And we just have like 2 kids there beginning to know the importance of having trees, and they appreciate just playing around the trees so that they can know what it is to have a tree nursery. Then we are going to go to the second slide, and it's going to, I don't know whether it's refusing. It's refusing to move, so I don't know.
Susan, I suggest you put your camera off to conserve bandwidth for the presentation.
What, come again?
Put your video off so that you
I
can.
put my video. Okay, okay, all right, okay, I get it. Okay. Ah, it's back again. Oh, I'm trying to share my screen, but it's not moving. Oh, there it is. Okay. Now that is establishment of a tree nursery. That's a typical tree nursery. We can see the woman there tendering the tree nursery. And beginning, before you start a tree nursery, there are a few things that you have to take into consideration. And one of them is the type of soil. The other thing is to also have shade, or some trees that act like shade near the tree nursery. You should also be able to have accessible water, running water from a tap. You should be able to have the tree nursery fenced completely, and also to have all the things that are required, like tools, to begin a tree nursery. And so we have here establishing tree nurseries. In every in every forestry nursery, you will find generally 4 types of trees. And we have the hardwood trees, we have the softwood trees, we have the exotic seedlings, and we also have the indigenous seedlings. And then there is another typical tree nursery that has been taken care of or managed well. In a tree nursery, you should always you'll always find 1 or 2 mature trees that is going to bring shade, because we would not like to have direct sun on the tree nursery as you are establishing. So you should always have trees, mature trees around the tree nursery. The tree nursery should be kept clean. There should be a path of about 1 meter from one bed to another nursery bed, as you can see. And then we have types of forest tree seeds for both exotic and indigenous. Hard and softwood. For hardwood, we have neem tree, we have olive tree, we have eucalyptus tree, we have Elgon teak, and we also have all species of acacia, among others. Types of softwood. We have cypress, pinus, grevillea, cedar, podo, among others. To establish a tree nursery, like I would just like to pause a bit and say something like we are about to, in Kenya, we are about to have our rains, they're around the corner now. And it is the right time now to establish the tree nursery. And also it is the right time to think about planting tree seedlings in the month of June. We have only 1 month to go. We have the month of April, and then we have the month of May, and then we enter into June, where we have to start planting tree seedlings for peace and reconciliation. And that is why I chose this topic today to teach on establishment of fruit and forestry nurseries, what is required, even the tools that are required, and what we should know and be aware of when we are beginning establishing a nursery. And therefore, we do have tools needed for establishing forest and fruit tree nurseries. We have wheelbarrow, we have spade, we have rake, we have hammer, nails, fencing material, post, hoe, djembe or fork djembe, mattocks, axe, machete, watering can, and hose pipe. Those are some of the essential tools, that farm tools or farm equipment that you should have in the store. Then we have requirements for fruit nursery establishment. Excuse me. You know, when we talk about fruit nursery or forestry nursery, we do have trees that act as windbreak. We have trees that act as ornamental trees in the compound. We have trees that are good also for fruit and woodlot, and therefore there are requirements for fruit tree nursery establishment. And some of them are fenced area. You should make sure that the area that you're going to establish the nursery is completely fenced. And you should also be aware that there is water around the nursery area, water reservoir or permanent water supply. You should have shade trees, disposable bags or pockets for planting the tree seeds, treated tree seeds, fertile forest soil, compost, water, and watering can or hose pipe. Okay, for forest and fruit tree seeds collection, you know, like for every farmer or for every women group or youth group that are into the project of establishing a tree nursery, they should be able to know where to get their seedlings. Such groups or such farmers should get in direct contact with the agricultural field extension officer of their area, who will be able to direct them to the right place to get the tree seeds, and also who will connect them to the to tree nurseries owned by individuals or companies or organizations or even government. And when they get connected to the agricultural extension officers of the area, they will get a lot of help. And especially in collecting seeds, you know, like collecting and cleaning and sorting seeds is not an easy thing. You just can't enter anybody's compound or anybody's forest or private forest. You really have to get permission to get into those forests. You have to get permission also or letter of permits to be able to collect seeds, tree seeds. And therefore, it's very important to get connected with the agriculture staff of your area and be able to be helped where to get these seeds. Some of those seeds are already treated, and it's just easy for any group, any farmer, or to be able to plant directly on the prepared seedbed. And therefore, there is that collecting and cleaning and sorting. Let's say you're going to plant avocado trees. You have to go to the market where you get rotten or throwaway seeds, avocados that are thrown away because they have not been bought, they are ripened and they are almost rotting. So you can put on gloves or employ someone, give them the gloves, let them go picking all those seeds, and then you go cleaning and sorting them. If it's going to the forest, also you have to put on your gloves and make sure you get the seeds collected, and then you clean them and you sort. You remove the rotten ones, And the ones that seem that they can't grow, you have to sort and have complete clean seeds. Then from there, you have to treat them to break the dormancy. Breaking the dormancy means we have some kind of tree seeds that have a very hard coating. The coat or the outside part of the seed is so hard, such that when you plant it the way it is, it might take a long time for it to break and to germinate. And therefore, like Nandi flame, it's a very fine and peppery kind of seed. It's light. You don't have to break dormancy, you just plant directly. But we have some other seeds that are hard, and breaking the dormancy means you can also boil them. You can put them in boiling water and let them stay overnight in that water. As the water cools down, then in the morning you can get the seeds out of the water and be able to plant. So that means you are breaking the dormancy for that particular seed to enable the seed to take in water and germinate. Number 3, this is a topic, it's a very long topic on breaking dormancy, and it's also practically done. I would like to take this topic for another day, that I can be able to take you through that session. Many tree nursery owners have complained their seeds are not growing. It's because, or they are not germinating, it's because they have not known various methods of breaking dormancy. Now we come to nursery management. We should ensure the seedlings have enough water, planting in disposable slips, treating on pests and diseases, weeding, prepare wooden boxes for transporting tree seedlings to distant places. Especially when the tree seedlings are ready, they should be placed in nice boxes where they are safe, especially if they are to be transported to a long distance place. They have to be to reach their destination in one piece and ready for planting. Who are to run or establish tree nurseries? We have the rural and the urban youth. We have women groups. We have 4K club members, individual farmers. This becomes a project which will generate income from the sale of the tree seedlings. They can also sell the prepared seeds as an income too. Therefore, for every group that is interested to establish a tree nursery, should be able to target the rainy season, because if you plant on the wrong season, then you'll have to keep the seedlings in the nursery for long. But if you time well, like now we are expecting rains in Kenya any moment in this month of April, the tree seedlings should have been planted by February. You see, if they were in the nursery by February this year, then we have February, March, and then we have April. Then that is the time they can sell their seedlings, or even January, even as far as January. If any group wants to plant seeds, they should start January, and then they will be assured, because if the rain decides to come in early or by 15th of March, they're still on the safe side. They'll be able to get market for their tree seedlings, because that's the time when farmers go to get tree seedlings, forestry seedlings, because it's raining. But if you plant them, if you don't time well, when there are no rains, no one will come and buy the seedlings, because watering will be another issue. And then here, I'm not going to go to smart greenhouse. So I'm going to stop there for a while, because establishing tree or fruit tree nurseries is not as hard as vegetable nursery, because this one you sow directly on the soil, and from there you go to pricking. Once they have, after 1 month, they are ready for pricking. And pricking is another step or another process where you get a sharp stick and you go near the seedling, you dip the stick next to the stem of the seedling, and you pull it up. So one hand is touching the upper part of the seedling, and the other hand has pricked or has actually pierced the soil, and it's going towards the root, and then you lift it up. So it's easy to uproot that seedling and plant it directly into the pocket or the sleeve. We have these tubes, plastic tubes or disposable bags. So you can plant it there. And before you plant, you also have to make a hole using the stem stick. You make a hole in the middle, and then now you drop the seedling inside and you press the soil lightly. That is what is called pricking. And if there's any other question, because establishing a tree nursery is not difficult. The only difficult part is treating the seeds or breaking the dormants. When you have tree seedlings that are certified, and you get them from, if you can get them from, you know, like we have these companies or organizations that work with, that are engaged in getting tree seeds or tree seeds for tree nurseries, like ICRAF. ICRAF are also, it's an organization, it's an international organization. They are engaged in tree nurseries and an establishment of tree forest nurseries, tree forest nurseries. We also have Ministry of Forestry, carefree. You can get tree seeds from them as long as you are able to show them that you are interested, because they would not like any farmer or any person to buy and sell. They would like you to be able to show an evidence that you have a tree nursery and you would like to get seeds from them. Other companies also sell, some other organizations also sell some of these seeds. So it's better to get those ones that are certified, and you don't have to go through a long way of collecting from the forest, not knowing whether they are certified or not. It's better to buy and get very good seedlings, because you are sure all of them after planting they will grow. Now, I would like to ask a question. I mean, before I finish, I would like you people to ask questions, and then you can go back to the WhatsApp. In the UnityNet Africa and Diaspora, I've posted a few handouts on tree nursery management. And if there is anyone in this meeting today who is interested, because I can see we are 21 participants, if there is anyone who is interested to get his or her own manual, you can get back to me and I will arrange to get one and post it to your email. But you have to send me your email address. I will scan the entire manual and send it to your email, and you can go through the establishment and management of forestry nursery. I won't do that for any cost. I will just send it to your email address. So there we are. If there are any questions you can ask, I'm here. I'll be able to answer them.
Thank you very much, Madam Susan. And I am really impressed with your presentation. It's very, very educative. It's useful. It's an instrument for all of us. And I believe this is the right time, as most of the regions in Africa will soon start to experience the rain season, the planting season. So having this notion, also our Abrahamic project is ahead. The 5th of June, we are going to demonstrate the planting of trees of peace and reconciliation, as last year we demonstrated also in Sierra Leone and other parts of the world. So this year we want to do it, and all the chapters, all the 55 countries in Africa, we want them to practice or to demonstrate the trees of peace and reconciliation planting. And that involves, you have to GPS any plant you plant, you send it to us to reconcile the GPS system at global level, so that we'll be able to identify all the trees that we are planting in every country, every location within our central core. Once again, thank you. And the other important thing I just want to notice you, all this information will come to our website, as currently we are developing our website system. So all what we are doing now, in the future, you are going to see it through our website. Finally, Madam, before questions, the Q&A, you can send the manual through UnityNet Africa Diaspora email address. So whoever needs any chapter that needs or member, then we will be able to share that one. Thank you once again. This is very great. I learned a lot from it. And now we go to the Q&A. Please make sure you raise your hand. Your contribution, you have 2 minutes. Thank you. And I was seeing Ruth. Oh, Rugiatu. Yes, Rugiatu Sise. Yes, go ahead.
Good afternoon, good morning, anytime you find yourself at the part of the world in this meeting. It's Rugiatu. I just have one question. When you nurture the trees, how long it can take to transfer it to the main point of the tree?
Okay, thank you for the question, Ruth. From the seed to a seedling, it will take 1 month, that is 4 weeks, that is 30 days. Then from the seedling to the pocket, you have to prick and transplant it into the pocket or into the sleeves. That takes another 1 month. And from the pocket, it stays another 1 month again before you transplant. So let's say you planted the seeds directly on the seed bed 1st of January. Then 1st of February, you are pricking and taking them into the sleeves or pockets or the tubes. And then they will stay the whole month of February in the pockets as you water them. Then the month of February, March, they are ready. They are ready for transplanting. So they can stay in the pocket as from February and March, and then in April they can be planted. So we have them 1 month in the soil, January, February, 1 month in the tubes, March, they are ready for planting. Anytime from 15th of March, you can just pick the tubes and sell them, dispose them. And I think you know how to plant, because if you're going to plant them, you have to tear out the pocket, remove the plastic or the tube, and let the soil that is around the roots go inside the hole that you have prepared. So it's exactly 2 months from sowing to planting.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we go to Mohammed Mustafa. Madam Rugiat, can you lower your hand, please? Your hand is still up. Mohammed, yes, go ahead.
Hello, thank you very much, Madam Suzanne, for a wonderful presentation. Yeah, from the presentation, I understood that the nursery should have started from February, even all the way January. To prepare for planting in June as rains begin. So what is the preparation now for these tree planting in June, which UnityNet Africa and Diaspora is trying to demonstrate? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mohammed Mustafa. Now, because we have these projects going on in the month of June, even if you are late in sowing your seeds for, I don't think that any of us have even started sowing seeds for tree planting in June. So we are relying on tree nurseries that belong to individuals, that belongs to NGOs and other, maybe the church, CBOs, church-based organizations or groups. We are depending on tree seedlings from such nurseries. But because UnityNet Africa and Diaspora, we never went into planting of trees or planting of seeds. We don't have our own individual nurseries. That is why I'm trying to say that we are focusing on the month of June to plant our tree seedlings. But now, if you are going to time, it depends on which country you come from. In Kenya, the rainy seasons are ready now. We are ready to plant anything because it's about to rain. It's a bit late even. The rains were supposed to be everywhere, all over the country by 15th of March. Now we are in April, first week of April. So we are expecting rains anytime. And for Kenyans, we should have planted our tree seeds or sowed our tree seeds into the nursery by January, so that by April, we are assured that we have a mature tree seedling to plant. Okay, even if it takes 2 other months in the seed bed, there's nothing wrong with it. Its only problem is the roots will start developing, but there's no problem. When they're in the tree nursery, and even if they have stayed for 3 months or 4 months, it's okay because they're ready for planting. And for other countries, it's already going to dry season. So it's different for different countries. You should be time yourself like 3 months before it starts raining. 3 to 4 months before it starts raining in your country. So you go to see the rainy pattern, see the rain pattern in your country, study the rain pattern, and be able to know that you need to sow your seeds 3 to 4 months before the onset of rains. Any question?
Thank you. So, yes, Rose. Yeah, Madam
Okay.
Rose, can you say something? Yeah.
Yes, sure. Thank you so much, Susan, for that wonderful presentation. Very informative indeed. I was wondering, with these climate change issues which we are experiencing all over the world, what is the ministry doing about it such that we are able maybe to meet the rains which are so much unexpected as the issues are going on, and the weather and the rains are not coming as we usually expect? What is the ministry doing about it? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Madam Rose. That's a very unique question, because the ministry, it is which ministry now? Is it the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Livestock, the ministry? Do we have Ministry of Rain or Ministry of Water? I don't know. But you see, rain is a natural, there is no ministry that can control the rains. What we usually do, we prepare our farmers. We prepare them as early as February on land preparation. We prepare our farmers on input acquisition as early as February and March, knowing that our rain pattern begins by 15th of March, and by 15th of April, we are very sure that the rains are ready and every farmer is planting their maize, beans, vegetables, whatever it is, fruits. About climate change, it depends which part of the county you come from. You find that in Mombasa, it's been hot throughout. Even when you were born, you found it was a hot area. Kenya has climatic difference. We have the highlands, we have the lowlands. You have some other places right now, it's raining and it is so cold. But we cannot control the climate change in Kitale, climate change in Kisii, climate change in Elgeyo Marakwet cannot be controlled and make it look similar to that one of Mombasa or that one of Turkana, because those areas were meant to be hot. And before the rain comes, you'll find there's humidity, there's it's so uncomfortable. You find there hot nights, the nights are so hot, during the day it's windy, and that is all preparation for the rains coming. And these rains have really, maybe the meteorological department should be able to explain much better how to control the climate change and all that. But when coming to trees, when we stop cutting down trees, then we are encouraging the rain to come in. And also, when there's a lot of wind, we plant trees that can prevent wind, and we call them wind breakers. They will break, we call them the wind break. And we have to, there are some areas that are so windy, and we encourage people, farmers in those areas, to plant trees like Gravelia and cypress, any other tree that is going to act like a windbreak, to be able to stop wind coming directly to their homesteads. About climate change and rains, the meteorological department will be in a position to explain to us so much about that. I don't know whether I've answered your question, Rose.
Yes, sure, Susan, you have answered my question, because my concern is the climate change, which is affecting everywhere, not only the upcountry or even the rural areas and the urban. Currently, we are seeing that the rains are not coming the way it used to be maybe 5 years back. That's what I was actually talking about. And maybe the preparation which we have from the Ministry of Agriculture to prepare the farmers on time so that they don't miss the rains which come unexpectedly. So thank you. You have answered partly. Thank you.
Thank you
Yes.
very much. I think we have Mr. Kato. Yes, Susan, you still want to say something?
Yes, I wanted to say on preparing the farmers, right now we are preparing the farmers to get fertilizers, which are already been reduced. The prices have been cut down. And because of the climate change, the government is aware of that. And that is why the government went in very quickly to be able to cut down the prices for the farmers so that we have food security. Because when the prices are up and the fertilizers, the farmers might not be able to buy, and also we don't have food in the country. And that also, because of the climate change, all those factors have made it possible for the farmers to benefit in the farm, in getting the farm inputs. Yes, there's one person who has a question.
Yeah, Mr. Kato. Mr. Kato, go ahead.
Yes, good evening from Tanzania. I really appreciate for what has been presented by my sister, Madam Susan Yego. My concerns here are two. One is actually, I want to talk about the rainfall pattern for the case of Tanzania. You know, in Tanzania, also climate change is so hectic. My question is,
Yeah, Mr. Kato, we are getting problem. Your signals are very weak.
We are heading to Abraham project, planting trees of peace and reconciliation by June. Now, I'm asking both Dr. Carlos and also anyone around here for the case of Tanzania, because actually reaching to June, yeah. But do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Do you hear me? Is Susan
Yes.
and Dr. Carlos?
Yes.
What do you advise for the case of Tanzania? Because by June, the completely dry season has begun. Will be beginning by June. The rain by the month of June, and by June, as has been advised, we shall be having the Abraham project, the planting trees of peace and reconciliation. Now, one. Secondly, the other thing I would like also to ask Madam Susan, when you're transplanting, I mean the seedlings to the completely their beds, do you transfer? You might transfer the seedlings while having the diseases already to the seedlings. How do you manage that kind of situation? That's all.
Well, I didn't get the question because of the network interference. Because of the network interference, I didn't get the questions, Mr. Carlos. Professor Carlos?
My question, may I repeat? My question is, do you hear me, Susan? My question is, when you are transplanting the seedlings to the beds, do you spray the seedlings for the case of the management? Because you might transfer the seedlings while already the diseases already with the seedlings touched. Now, how do you control such kind of a situation that way? How will you control such kind of situation if it happens?
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I have understood. Now, in the nursery, there's one thing I forgot to mention. In the nursery, the soil that is used to grow the tree seeds in the nursery, on the nursery beds, that soil has to be treated in the first place. When we treat that soil, You can either treat it by placing a black polythene paper on top of the prepared nursery bed and let the heat burn the soil. The heat from the black polythene paper, it is able to treat the soil. Some other people even burn. They put firewood on the soil and they burn so that they treat the soil. Okay, we have to treat the soils when we are planting our seeds, tree seeds. That is one way of reducing diseases. And also when the tree seeds have grown, we have to be able to spray using herbicides and pesticides once or twice a month. As you observe, if there are any spots or there's any evidence of pests on the leaves, then you can spray with pesticides like dudutrin. We also have Marshall, and we have Belt. If it's diseases, we can also use fungicides, any kind of fungicide, Coside 101, Dithen M45, all those are fungicides. And we are supposed to spray pesticides and fungicides once or twice a month when you have already pricked them into the tubes. From then on, when you are about to transplant or get them from the nursery to take them to the farms to transplant, they are also sprayed. 1 week before they are removed from the nursery, they are supposed to be sprayed with pesticides and herbicides. That way we control any pest or diseases or fungal diseases that may attack the tree seedlings when you are planting in your farm, in the farm. So I hope I've answered your question, Mr. Kato.
Yes, Madam Susan. Thank you so much, Madam Susan.
Yeah,
Welcome.
Mr. Kato, in relation to the issue, your concern about Abrahamic project. I'm here to get, I'm also pleased that Lloyd is here, but most of it has been answered by Madam Susan, that since we are not getting the project funded yet because of time, and so we also have the opportunity at country level to look at the availability of nurseries, tree nurseries that are available in your country, maybe faith-based organizations, or maybe even the agricultural sector itself in your country, or maybe other organizations. We can contact them and design way or plan ways for us to actualize that very day, the 5th of June, which is World Environmental Day, to see how we can promote what we call planting of trees of peace and reconciliation. All right, so that project is there, but maybe it's going to be possible for us to, what we expect, our expectations are going to be met maybe next year, since this year was almost late in terms of the project for funding partners to get support for that particular project. However, let's go back to our country at community level, at district level. Let's look out for partners who have nurseries or tree nurseries. Let's talk with them. Let's talk to them. Let's dialogue with them. Let's tell them our intentions, what we want to do, and join together with them to ensure that we promote tree planting. It doesn't mean we can plant millions of trees for a start this year. We can plant few trees that will signify our day, that will also signify what we stand for peace and reconciliation, using trees or tree planting. And those trees should be marked. We want you to GPS them so that we'll be able to get the coordinates of those trees and be able to reconcile them at global level, so that we know exactly from Tanzania. We know, for instance, for the 5th of June, we planted 10 trees, South Africa, Kenya, Sierra Leone, wherever you find yourself. And then we put all together as a history, just like what we did last year. Sierra Leone demonstrated that, joined that with other countries. Thank you so much. I see, Lloyd, do you want to add something? Sorry, Lloyd, do you want to add something on this, Abrahamic? Just 1 minute or 2 minutes?
Yeah, hello. I think the question was more along the lines of whether that the timing, I think, in some countries, I think that was, you mentioned it was the beginning of the dry season for planting trees, maybe not very good for doing that because there could potentially be, of course, if the trees planted at the beginning of the dry season, that it could maybe perhaps not survive because it would be not a good time to be planting trees. And rather,
well, yeah, no, it's not only the timing. The timing has been, sorry, the timing has been answered by Madam Susan. The concern, which was coming not only from Mr. Kato, but also from Mr. Mohammed Mustafa Sanko from Guinea about our proposed Abrahamic project, Trees of Peace and Reconciliation planting on the 5th of June. That was,
this is what I'm addressing. So I'm addressing
Yeah.
those tree planting of the Trees of Peace and Reconciliation. So the concern I heard was that the timing might not be good to plant a tree at the beginning of the dry season. But what I want to make is that these trees are intended to be, as you said, symbolic of the mission that we are trying to, and the message that we are trying to convey in terms of care of Mother Earth and care of the people in our communities, coming together in peace and toward a regenerative economy. And so the idea of planting the trees, even at the worst, what might be considered the worst time of the year, because it's, for instance, the beginning of the dry season, we're hoping to, during these ceremonies, to help bring the community together in all parts of the community, as per that HEPTA Matrix Partnership template. So we're hoping that by doing so, by having ceremonies and having this tree symbolize the care of Mother Earth as well, that this tree will be cared for by the community. So even if it is in the dry season, people will know what that tree is and what that tree symbolizes, and we'll take care of that tree. We'll water that tree. We'll ensure that tree survives even under the worst conditions. So that's basically what I was hoping to do.
Thank you, Lloyd. Okay, Juliet, you have, yes, go ahead with your questions right away, please.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Madam Susan Diego, for a great presentation. Just a quick one. In terms of, we're looking at planting food trees, which are mainly fruit. We just want to know what would be the biggest challenge that we might face, and also how long would it take for a tree after that? How long on an average would a tree take, particularly a fruit tree, for it to start bearing fruit? Because we're looking at doing that as part of food security drive. So we want to be able to have an estimate that, okay, if we plant 100 trees, as an example, 1,000 trees this year, so we're looking at what, in 5 years' time, that children can start eating the fruit. Please help with that. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Loy and Juliet, but I would like to answer Professor Loy for one information that he has reminded me, is that we already have tree seedlings ready for 4K clubs in Nakuru. For Mamangina Primary School, Koinange, and Kibowen Komen Muslim Primary School, we have around 4 primary schools with 4K clubs. And we have NCDA, Wasinyiro, that is Wasinyiro Development Authority. And we have 3 seedlings ready for them. And they are each going to get over 6,000 tree seedlings. And that is what I have been able to collaborate, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Agriculture and NCDA Tree Nursery. I have been able to collaborate with them as their field extension officer. And now they're able to, they have benefited from the tree nursery and they'll be given the seedlings. And they'll plant those, they are now on vacation. All schools are on vacation. When they open school, they'll be able to plant. It's not only for it's not only for 4K club members, also for all teachers, they'll benefit from the 4K club group. About the, I'm also organizing for farmers to get seedlings from Nakuru here during the rainy season, the month of May and June, and we'll be able to plant a few seedlings, and maybe I'll bring the report to UnityNet. It is not going to be under UnityNet as such because we are not yet registered. Now, about how long does a fruit tree take for it to start bearing, Madam Juliet? It depends which kind of tree seedling. And nowadays we have grafted fruit trees like avocado, Hass avocado, we have oranges, we have pixie, we have also bananas, we have all types of fruits that are grafted. And most of these grafted fruit trees, they take 3 years, 2.5 to 3 years, they start flowering. And the 3.5 years, let's say 3 years, and by June, going to the 4th year, you'll probably be enjoying the fruits. If it is Hass avocado, by 3 years, the Hass are already producing the first fruits. And usually we encourage farmers to remove the flowers. If the fruit trees start flowering as early as 2 years, we encourage farmers to abort the flowers or to remove the flowers so that it gives them time to flower. And then the fruits that will come after that will be big and succulent, because that way we are preparing the tree to mature enough so that it can be able to bear proper fruits that are big and also good for consumption.
Thank you. We go to Mohammed Bari.
Yes.
Mohammed
Yes,
Bari.
So
yes.
Yeah, please,
Yes,
Madam Khadija Kago, if you want to talk, raise your hand up, please. Just go there and click. You raise your hand. No, not so. Go to the. There's a pointer, please. There's a place when you go to. Can somebody help? Where she can pick up the hand to raise.
I see the hand.
Okay, Mohammed Bari. After you, then Madam Kago, Kadiatu Kago.
Okay, good afternoon once more. I really appreciate Madam Suzanne Yego for the presentation. The question is my concern here, how many trees are being planned to plant in the month of June globally? And the second question, how each country gonna have their seed to do the project? Thank you.
That question is not for.
Thank you, but I'd rather have the question directed to Professor Carlos.
Susan, can I say something? Let me just answer it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we just discussed. I just told you about it that for this year we don't have a targeted number of trees that, for instance, Guinea is supposed to plant. No, you can plant as many trees of peace and reconciliation. You remember what Lord just said is we are in the community, we work with the community. So we join the community in observing or celebrating the World Environmental Day, which is the 5th. And for us to signify that by planting whatever numbers of trees you want to plant, it can be fruit trees or whatever you call it, but these are memorable trees that we should keep and keep them alive. Either it is wet or it is dry, so that these trees will serve as memory, all right, for all of us, for the community. So at some point, the community will go and sit down under these trees and discuss about their developmental issues in the community and develop a roadmap of how they can answer their problems, the challenges they are facing, for instance, food security. Okay, they can also use those trees as a source of food to feed themselves, to take care of themselves, to have an economic livelihood. That's exactly. So you can decide on the number of trees you want to plant. All you should do now, start to dialogue with maybe the Ministry of Agriculture in your country, the faith-based organizations in your country, and other organizations dealing or doing something in the area of agriculture, especially tree planting. Thank you. Yes, Madam Kadia, to your question, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Dr. Richard Sanko, thank you for connecting me. And I want to thank Madam Susan. My name is Kadiatu, Mado representation, Sierra Leone, L91 to be specific. Madam Susan, I just want to ask if there is any possibility to plant trees during dry season, and what is the possibility to that tree to be survived? Because it is very important, as I was taught that in agriculture, there is no a breakdown. You can plant during dry season and rainy season, because we know that during rainy season, trees are doing good. So which is the advice so that we Africans here the possibility to plant a tree during dry season and get it survive? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for your question, Madam what's her name? Madam Kedisha. Thank you for your question, Madam Kadiatu Kargabo. This question is directed really, yeah, when you're going to plant the tree seedlings, when it's not raining, like I said earlier, the requirement for setting up a tree nursery is water. You must make sure that you have continuous running water, tap water. If you don't have water at all, don't think of starting at establishing a tree seed nursery, a tree seedling or a forest tree nursery. You have to be able to start off with water. That is the most important thing. So you have water running in the tap throughout the year. You can plant your seedlings anytime because you will be able to water them using watering can. You can water them using hose pipe. So in the nursery, they won't have any water stress. But after that, because we don't rely on rain to plant our tree seedlings, we rely on water. But we have to time so that when they are ready for transplanting, it is rainy season. The rain pattern for your country is when it's the right time to plant all other kind of crops. We also incorporate the tree seeds. So in the nursery, we don't rely on rain. We rely on water, tapped water, running water. Yeah, that was one of the requirements that I'd mentioned earlier in the training.
Okay, Madam Susan, because I was working with Mayoral Forestry for 3 years, 9 months here in Tonkolili district. And during October, November, December, we usually plant trees. We have certain trees which we plant And we normally use a substances called gel, which can sustain the swell for 6 months before the rain starts. So I don't know whether you come across with that substance, which we call gel.
We call what?
Gel, gel.
Can you come again?
It's just a symbolic like a starch, local produce like from cassava. That's the similar substance we normally use here during dry season, because I was working with Mayoral Forestry for 3 years, 9 months. We use that substance to maintain the tree, the sustainability for 6 months until the time we get onto the rainy season. Because the possibility for us every year, we have an account of planting of hectares, which we have to present and give a report for yearly. So we normally use that substance, we call it gel. So I just want you to reach out about that. Thank you.
Yeah, can I add to what she's saying, maybe for more clearer, Susan?
Yes, you can.
Okay, the Mayoral Forestry is a UK-based forestry organization that is based in Sierra Leone, Ghana, and I think it's also in Nigeria. It is promoting tree planting in West Africa. So she was working with them from the information I got. What she's saying, so for them, even in the dry season, they plant trees because they have a substance that is a chemical that is waterish. They use to pour in the hole of the tree that is going to be planted or nurse. And then that substance will serve there for almost like 6 months before the next rainy season to come. And after planting the tree, that moisture content will help the tree to survive throughout the dry season without dying. That's what she was saying. So she's asking, since we are talking about planting trees, what if there are other methods of using to, or there are other ways to plant trees during the dry season just to promote tree planting?
Okay, we have not used the gel. I have not seen the gel before. I have not used the gel before, so I cannot talk about the gel. But what I know about fruit trees, once we have transplanted them in the main field, once we have transplanted the fruit trees and some of the forest trees in the main forest or in the main field, what I know is that we have some white paint, and the white paint we paint on the back. We paint on the back of the tree. You know, we paint on the back of the tree so that if it is in the hot season, then it's able to conserve, or it's able to retain the moisture. And because there's not much rain, then the tree will not suffer water stress. But about the gel, I'll find out much about it, because in Kenya we have we don't have that. We don't use the gel to sustain the life of the tree seedlings in the nursery. We usually use just water, plain water, tap water, to water the tree seedlings while they're in the nursery. That is a new technology about the gel. I'll find out more about it, and maybe I'll be able to share in another session.
Okay, Madam Susan, thank you. For us as MADO, we are going to partake this year planting. We have a hectare of 30, the land preparation, which we have to start our tree planting by the special grace of God. So thank you for educating us about tree planting, as Dr. Richard Carlos Sanko did the last time we did our symbolic tree planting worldwide, especially in our communities. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Kadiatu Kagbo. She is my partner in promoting agriculture or women empowerment, child protection issues in Sierra Leone. Thank you. So any other question or comment now? We have recommendations, suggestions as to what we can do. Let us focus it really on what we have today on tree planting. And let's talk about the Abrahamic tree planting project we have in mind.
Mr. Carlos?
Go ahead, Susan.
Yes, I'll make a comment now that we have learned much about the establishing tree nursery. We have learned a lot about that. I would like to say something like we are going into the month of June. We had talked about tree planting for peace and reconciliation. And as a project director for UnityNet Kenya, this is a subject that we have been handling since last year in the month of November, October, November, December, January, February, March. Now we are in April. We have always held meetings and we have talked about the planting of trees and how we are going to be supported by UnityNet from the continental level. Now that we only have 1 month to go, that is the month of actually one round month. But now we are already in April. We can say maybe 2 months or 1.5 months. As we enter into the month of June, what are we going to do about these tree seedlings? We are supposed to plant about 2 million tree seedlings for every country. How are we going to go about this? Where are we going to get the seedlings? Who is going to sponsor us? We can't get free tree seedlings. And even if we had to, we can't get as many as 2 million. What are we going to do now, Professor Carlos? And the time is not on our side.
Yeah, thank you, Susan. Once again, I'm repeating myself. We almost run late regards to the Abrahamic project, the tree planting, because we're still looking for funding for that particular project. As to our plan before, we wanted to have a funding agency that will fund us to support the different countries or different chapters so that we'll be able to promote our pre-plan or desired objectives in terms of planting 2 million trees in every country. So that was planned, but the plan is still there. And so since we are almost late, we are asking, before this time, we also asked for synergies, that the chapter should synergize with the local partners, of course, faith-based organizations, other organizations, or even the Ministry of Agriculture, to join together in observing this wonderful International Day, which is World Environmental Day, on the 5th of June. So my advice is, you mentioned that already for Kenya, and it is the same also in every country. Every country, we have a ministry that is in charge of agriculture. And we also have partners who are working in agriculture, some who are promoting tree planting programs. Let us work with them at community base or from community base to ensure that we observe that day, we promote that day, we synergize on that day. So that's my advice to all the chapters. So please don't ask again. It goes for every chapter. So let us at local level work with our communities, our community programs. At community level, we have organizations working there, promoting tree planting or promoting agricultural activities. Maybe they are looking for organization that maybe want to promoting a tree planting. If we talk to them, so maybe we want to plant this number of trees, maybe they can come in and support. Of course, it's a partnership. We are not one here. We work as a team. Remember, is to promote safety to Mother Earth again, to rebrand Mother Earth again. That's exactly. So the effect goes to all of us. If it is warmer, it affects everybody. If it is cooler, it affects everybody. Whatever the weather is, whatever the climate situation is, it affects all of us. So this is a synergy for all of us. It concerns the whole country. It concerns the whole continent, the whole world. It affects everybody. Thank you. Any other comment, any other concern? Today, we are going to wrap up this meeting early.
Okay.
Is that Juliet? Juliet, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Just one question, which is, do we have a tree planting? I know we do have a tree planting project proposal. I'm also then asking that on a national level, if we have a project, can we try and run with that and then link up to the continental project? Would work, or does the continental project stand alone? I had the continental tree planting project, but there was already one proposal that we were into for South Africa. So do we synergize on those, or do we let them run concurrently?
Yes, Juliet, thank you so much. Again, we are still open looking for partnership, okay? So in your country, if you think we have partners that we can share this tree planting project to support the process, it doesn't mean they can support everywhere, whatever level, whatever countries or whatever, even if it is one country, yes, that's fine. We can start something from one country, and then as we are moving here to here, we spread it all over.
Thank you, Prophet.
Yeah,
Professor.
yeah. Any other comments? Yes.
Yes, Doctor.
Yeah, go ahead. Yes.
Yes, and I remember last year we did our tree planting in a specific tree. So as Madam Susan said, if there is any help from the ministry or the Unity Network so that they can provide for us a tree, which is going to be specific for us to plant this year, because last year we did a country tree. There is any specific tree for us to prepare to plant this year?
Very good question. We are open to plant fruit trees. Fruit trees. Please, if you choose to plant cotton tree, why we decided to choose cotton tree for us, like for instance in Sierra Leone, it is a symbolic of peace. Okay, it symbolizes during the war, when the war recessed, after the war, that's the place where the people came and surrendered all their weapons. In Sierra Leone, we have the cotton trees that signify as a place where the warriors surrender or bury their weapons. Okay, so that's why last year we used cotton tree. So, but this year it is open. We want to ensure that we promote food trees. So it is open for us to plant food trees so that they can promote what we call economic livelihood. And so I also, in Sierra Leone, you should also synergize. Currently, we are synergizing with the Ministry of Agriculture. All right. So in your own area, I know you are close to, or you are close with the Ministry of Agriculture for Tonkolele district. So you can synergize with them and other organizations that are there promoting agricultural tree planting. Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay.
So, but in Sierra Leone, we are going to symbolize it or focus on rural development in collaboration with our rural development, MADO, and other community-based organizations. We're going to observe it just like how we observed it last year.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Richard Sanko, Doctor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Once again, Kadiatu, Director of Mayoral Rural Development Organization, reside at Mile 91, Tonkolele District. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comment from anybody? Recommendations, comments, the way forward for tree planting. Okay. So do we have? Yes. Can you please? You want to say something, Lloyd? I'm seeing you sending something.
Hello, Dr. Carlos.
Yes. Who is that, please? Can you introduce yourself?
Yes, Ambassador Mohammed Jackson.
Yes,
Unity
Mr.
Ghana
Jackson.
Network. Yes.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I want to appreciate Sister Madam Susan for the presentation. I've been following the discussions and reading through the charts. And I'm beginning to get a clearer picture as to how the tree planting exercise should go. And my understanding is that we are not just picking any tree and planting, but it has to be a tree that reflects culturally the peace, what brings peace to the society, or historically, what tree was involved in peace and reconciliation process. And that is the kind of tree that we should pick and choose and plant during our tree planting. Is that the right understanding I have? I just want clarification on this. Thank you very much.
Okay, let me read this comment from Lloyd. He said, note, some larger countries and jurisdictions may even have multiple, even interchangeable trees of peace and reconciliation, since there may be many different species that have different significance to different local indigenous peoples and tribes in different jurisdictions, which I am sure will be the case here in North America, Turtle Island as well. For instance, the tree of peace and reconciliation that was planted in Bermuda was another species entirely. It was significant to the Bermudians, and the tree that was planted at the Shabunda leader, Mawami Mopipi, and his forest community in DRC, that is Democratic Republic of Congo. That's exactly what he's saying. So what he's saying that is based on your country, how it is. I said it before, and so it is the same. You can choose the trees that you want to plant based on your country, what they understand as trees of peace, okay? But also it can be an openlet of using fruit trees to promote economic livelihood for communities.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
that is very clear. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And so any other one? We are almost closing. We are almost coming to the end.
Mr. Carlos,
Yeah, and who is that?
that's Susan Diego.
Susan Diego, yes, go ahead.
I would like to have another presentation on tree management, on tree nursery management, and about the manual. I'm not going to put it on UnityNet internet or email. I had actually specified in the WhatsApp is only for those that need it. So if anybody needs it, please, you have to inbox me, because that is a document. It's a lot of work to compile it. So if any person needs it, it's my personal document, and you just have to request for it, and then I'll put it in the email. And then the other issue is that I would like to also do another presentation on tree nursery next Monday, God willing, because I find that's an area that we are going to planting of tree for peace and reconciliation, and we need to get more knowledge on how to select those fruit trees like you mentioned, and also how to take care of them and management aspects. So I would like to do that, another presentation next week on Monday.
Thank you so much, Madam Susan. That is welcome news, no problem. We hope your email is there, so anybody who wants to reach you privately can reach you privately. Thank you. If there's no other thing, Juliet, you want to say one more last thing? Yes.
Yes, I'm actually, thank you. It's Juliet from South Africa. I actually want to prompt, unfortunately, again, Professor Lloyd, because he has raised some key issues in the chat box, and I feel that there could be questions around some of the things he raised. I don't know if he is willing to maybe comment to allow people to discuss as every chapter is preparing for June, maybe to raise some of the issues that he raised in the chat box, just for clarity for other people. Through you, Mr. President.
So already he has sent a lot of information there, and most of it are read out. So I think that is it, but except if people want to say more. And I have answered most of it around the tree planting.
Okay.
Except if he has more to say, no problem. Okay, so
I suppose what I could say is that we can't confuse the tree of peace and reconciliation with the let's say planting of the tree plantations, the food forests, the fruit trees necessarily are not the same as the tree of peace and reconciliation. So the tree of peace and reconciliation is intended to be the starting point to create what we call those interfaith, neighborhood, academic, and business collaboratives. Those are the local community organizations that are intended to support our humanitarian entrepreneurs who are living in those local communities. So the ceremonial planting of the trees of peace and reconciliation is intended to establish those what we call INAB collaboratives. And the INAB collaboratives then come together at a later date to build what we call the Unity Gardens. The Unity Gardens could be a forest, a victory forest, as we call them. It could be a CSV garden. It could be a climate smart kitchen, or all of them. But the planting of the tree itself is intended to symbolize the coming together of the community to support the local entrepreneurs, those humanitarian entrepreneurs who would like to establish these productive, regenerative food or climate smart food production enterprises in the local community. So when you plant the tree, it's symbolic of the community coming together in order to support the entrepreneurs who would like to establish, for instance, a Victory Forest Unity Garden enterprise in that local community, where in subsequent months or years even, that tree planting of the forest itself can happen. But the trees of peace and reconciliation are just the symbols. They are meant to be recognized by the community as these symbolic trees that represent this coming together of the community across the 7 sectors of the partnership, where those 7 sectors at the local level in the local community pledge to support those humanitarian entrepreneurs that are in the community that would like to implement these regenerative solutions in their own community.
Okay, thank you, Lloyd. And we have two more additional. Ayodele, of course, you have 1 minute, and then we have Mohammed, Insa, Jackson, and Rugiatus to say this will be the last people, and finally we close. Go ahead. Ayodele, we'll start with you.
Okay, good evening to everyone on board. This is Ayodele from Uganda. I just want to suggest that now that we know that the tree plantation project is one of our major key activities in UnityNet. Number one, as we know that it's not just a tree plantation for decorations or to fill the gap of some of the trees that have been cut down. Is a tree plantation for the reconciliation and the peace. I think this issue of the tree plantation is coming at the right time, that there is a lot of hostilities, a lot of war between the country to country, even between the neighbors to neighbors, that this is the time, even if we can say that even the pandemic of COVID was also a war on its own, that the whole world is in need of a peace, reconciliation, and healing right now. I will suggest that we need to make it as a priority to begin to create a form of awareness, because it is a project not only for one country, for all where we have an establishment of the UnityNet, Africa and diaspora, and globally. So I will suggest that it is good for us now to begin to kickstart the awareness, either if we can get someone who can compose a song for us on this project of tree plantation, and we need to make it a specific program that can create more awareness about the UnityNet, either globally or in Africa and in any other part of the world. It will be good if we can have a kind of advert to design, either through YouTube or on a form of flyer on whatever. So that is at least let the awareness begin now, so that some of our members will wake up and they will know that we have activities on our hand, which is very important, especially to that we send a signal to the African, and it's coming up on board. So thank you.
Thank you, Adele. The last one. Okay, Mohammed.
Yes,
again,
so
short one.
Yes, mine is a very short question, and it has to do with what you said, Dr. Carlos, regarding taking the GPS of where the tree is being planted. And my question is are you taking the GPS of the entire location, or are you taking GPS of each of the trees? And also, do we have a particular device that you use to take the GPS, or we are using a general system that we can use to pick GPS of locations. These are just the two clarifications that I'm seeking. Thank you.
Thank you. You take the GPS from where you plant the tree of peace and reconciliation. You GPS, you get the coordinates, and send the coordinate to us. Of course, we send them to the global team. Lloyd will coordinate the coordinates so that we'll be able to get the location of all the trees planted anywhere in the world or in the location. Okay, so you can also use your phone. You download Google Earth down there. Of course, as long as your phone has internet, it's access the space, the open space. Hello? 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 All right. So just ensure that where you are planting that tree, you are directly connected to the atmosphere. You have a free space, and then you can see that the GPS can directly connect itself. Thank you. Rugyatu, yeah, the last one. Yes.
Okay, Mr. Carlos. Okay, hello, how are you guys? Yeah. I just want to put input and this planting of the tree reforestation. Last year I was here when I was joined together and plant the tree. Okay, now you guys said the tree reforestation, we do it for our peace and reconciliation for our own communities. Okay, so the diaspora unit, they don't have no hands on those communities. We just have to do it with our own way, or in the future they can follow up the way we do our stuff, the way we do our planting of the tree, or we just have to do it because of the peace and reconciliation for the communities, or for the one whole world for the day. It's something that they have to know about that, or just if you feel like doing it, you just have to do it, because they don't have nothing to involve in there. Because, for example, last year we did ours, rice is there. So when you did anything in the community, you know you have to do something else. Especially the poor countries, you use anybody to did something in the community, you have to spend your own money. Like I'm a CEO of an organization. That day I spend my money, I cook for people because for the peace and reconciliation, so that people can happy and do something. So I just want to clarify to Lloyd, because it's talking about like America, like we are state right now. We can do it here when you can do it when they sponsor you and do it for yourself, you do it for the community. But over there, no agriculture sponsor you about that, nothing else. You know, Mr. Carlos, in our country, in Sierra Leone, you have to do it on your own. Nobody can sponsor you. And if you have to do how many trees, you have to involve a lot of people. And you don't just have to leave them like that. You have to do something for them. Especially the poorest country, that everybody looking for something. I'm just trying to say, if it's not, it's just people, you just have to do it for your own, or it doesn't matter how it comes. Or they have, in the future, they have to come, like we say, you have to GPS, you have to show how you do it. All those GPS do everything, involve something else. That's why Susan was talking about. They have to help so that the tree planting can be the right way. So that's my own.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, thank you very much, Madam Cisse. Madam Cisse is talking from United States, and she's the CEO for Mayoral Rural Development Organization based in Sierra Leone. And she's a partner with me, working with my own organization focused on rural development. I think that comment you said has been clarified by Lloyd from his presentation, from what he just mentioned. So if you can go back and remember, let me just say that the trees of peace and reconciliation that we are planting those trees for ourselves, for our communities, and the communities should come out openly and demonstrate their willingness to plant those trees that will represent as a symbolic system or a symbolic way or icon for them to be coming together and discuss about their social entrepreneurship issues, how they can promote development in their community. I think that is very, very important. If we choose to plant plenty trees, which is not trees of peace again, those are economic trees. It's a one old project that we can embark on. And that is the project that we've just written to plan to promote tree planting. We are looking for funding agencies that will support tree planting, to promote tree planting. Okay, so that's exactly at continental level, we have done that. Okay, so again, also your organization, if you want to promote tree planting as an economic way of supporting or promoting communities, you can also design a project around that one. Maybe you can access the partners direct, or you can pass through UnityNet Africa and Diaspora.
I did want to mention as well. So what we've done here in the Toronto area where I am, and yes, we're not an agricultural area, but what we've planted in the past 2 years, only 4 trees of peace and reconciliation. Carlos is actually our hero because he's planted 10, and he actually did them all on the same day in Sierra Leone when he planted the first trees of peace and reconciliation in Africa. So 4 trees over 2 years. We got all of the 4 trees donated to us because we approached the community. We approached our local community leaders. We approached the local community businesses. We approached all the members of those partnerships that we want to create at the local level. And we were able to get the trees donated to us, but only 4 trees. So it wasn't a big deal to find a single tree to plant as symbolic of what we would like to achieve in the future. We're not trying to plant 100 trees or 1,000 trees or 10,000 trees. The June 5th tree planting ceremonies are for the trees of peace and reconciliation, which are symbolic of us moving forward, creating the local partnership that will then establish the local humanitarian enterprises in those local communities, and especially engage young people, especially at the local schools, the universities, the colleges, the high schools, in the conversation around the establishment of the regenerative infrastructure, the establishment of the humanitarian enterprises, and the establishment of our future regenerative economy that we would like to create as we approach 2030, because we are less than 8 years now from 2030, the end of the Sustainable Development Goals period from 2015 to 2030. So now we are building an organization right now that is focused on that transition. What comes after sustainable development? What's next? We believe, and we'd like to showcase the solutions for that next phase of the sustainable development, the global goals. What's beyond 2030? We want to show those solutions in our local communities through a process of establishing humanitarian enterprises that help to achieve the sustainable development goals, but also showcase solutions for that next phase, post 2030. the regenerative development phase of the global goals.
Yeah, thank you, Lord. I'm just saying somebody was interpreting Madam Rugiatus's question that in this, in promoting these trees of peace, they normally bring in
Carlos, we seem to have lost your audio.
Okay, maybe should I read what's on there?
what they call the
Okay.
peace system, you know, to observe
Okay.
some celebration. Okay, this if you are just planting one tree, the willingness can come from the community if they want to do it free, something like that. But when we come to the actual tree planting, you want to promote tree planting as an economic livelihood. That's a different thing. So you can, that's why I said you can do a project, and for that project, and then we get donors that will be supporting that tree planting, for instance. Okay, so in Sierra Leone, we have the Mayoral, which is a UK-based organization that supports tree planting, but it's not fruit trees. They support those hardcore, backcore trees that they use for electricity poles, they use for timber, they use for other things. They take them to overseas. Okay, so that's a different thing. Okay, if also you want to promote fruit orchard, that's a different case. Okay, you can do a project and share it with us or forward it to us, and we find partners for funding. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Carlos.
Thank you so much. And is there any other thing? We are almost closing. If there is no other thing again from any one of us, can we say goodbye and just show your face and say, wave your hand and say bye-bye and say goodbye.
I have one final statement, if I may.
Kediatu, bye-bye.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you, Andrew.
Yes, I hear you, Andrew. Go ahead.
Thank you all for being here. I apologize. I am co-hosting another event simultaneously, so I've only been able to listen, but I do want to thank everyone for being here. In the chat at the very bottom, I did put in a link to the United Nations Global Compact 2021 through 2023 strategy. There's a worldwide strategy, and there's an Africa-specific strategy. The reason why we are committed here today throughout the rest of this year and next year is specifically because our youth can't wait for 2030. They need to see immediate results. So there is, in fact, a global strategy in place. And perhaps at next week's meeting, I'll have an opportunity to share with you my vision of how what you're doing individually can take advantage of existing networks to push this all forward. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
you.
Andrew. And I want to thank everybody today that made it possible to be in this meeting. It has been a successful meeting, very educative, and we share our experience. We learn a lot from each and every one of us. Thank you. Till we meet again next week, Monday. Please.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. You connect us. Share with what you want to present. Bye-bye.
Wow.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Love you, everyone.
Bye.
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 Yeah.